I wrote this story based on a Brazilian legend. I hope you like it, comment it, so I can know if I write more stories based on legends.
The Hunter and the Curupira. An unscrupulous hunter, who always ventured into the forest in search of his next prey. He didn't care if the animal was a puppy, or if it was a pregnant female. In his eagerness for blood, he only saw the trophy he could boast in his macabre collection. One day, he entered the forest with the aim of murdering a mother deer to take her meat to sell in the market. The calf would also be murdered and used as a trophy. Arriving at a forest, he wielded his gun and went into the woods. He would not give up until he found his victim. After a few hours walking, he saw a deer in the distance. His eyes shone when he realized that it was a female with her calf. Without any mercy, he fired his gun and killed the mother deer in front of her calf, who went into despair. The sound of the shot, and the desperate sound of the cub echoed through the forest, attracting the attention of other species, but also of beings that should never be challenged. The hunter, not caring about the pup's suffering, prepared to kill him as well. But, suddenly, a strong wind made the hunter stop to adjust the aim again. He starts to hear some strong whistles that seem to come from everywhere. The hunter, already starting to get scared, fearing to be another animal attracted by the slaughtered game, started screaming and pointing the gun everywhere. When he turns his gaze to the downed animal, he sees beside him a strange figure coming out of the middle of the forest. A strange being. Short, red hair, very strong, the creature looked. The animal slaughtered and its desperate cub leaning against the mother's body. At first the hunter thought it was some wanderer who came to steal it. The hunter, screaming, started screaming for the stranger to get away from his hunt, pointing the gun in his direction. That's when the stranger turned his eyes towards the hunter, who got scared. They were big, yellow eyes that shone even in the shadow of the forest. The very scared hunter screamed for him to move away or he would shoot. That's when the stranger started walking out of the woods. The hunter felt his body freeze. The stranger had his feet turned backwards. His enraged face looked at him with great anger. It was a Curupira, a legendary creature of the forest, known for protecting nature and its inhabitants. He approached the hunter in anger and started to attack him, seriously injuring him. The hunter tried to run but was violently attacked with kicks, punches. When he managed to get up, he was violently attacked by a kind of spear or staff that the creature carried with him. He felt his flesh open with each blow. The hunter tried to run, but the Curupira chased him, without letting up. The forest seemed to close around him, and the hunter began to feel afraid that he would never be able to leave that forest again. The hunter, crying desperately, begging for that not to kill him, called out to God, begged for all his beliefs, all in vain, because the Curupira didn't say a single word. He just hit him mercilessly. But he didn't give up. He fought with all his might to escape Curupira, until he managed to escape the forest. Lying on the side of the road, he looked back and could see his tormentor standing between the trees with eyes scorching with hate, watching him silently. The hunter began to pray in fear of him coming after him, when he noticed around the creature 3 others similar to it, one carrying the dead mother deer, and another carrying the orphaned calf. The 3 moved away into the forest. The hunter began to cry desperately in a mixture of relief, regret, fear and pain. With great difficulty, he got up and began to stagger along the road looking for help. After a few hours, a car on the road, seeing his situation, stopped to provide care. With the large number of injuries, without asking what had happened, the boy put him in the car to run to the nearest town. Once there, he was immediately taken to the hospital, where he spent weeks recovering from his injuries. However, the hunter was never the same after that experience. He was afraid to go back to the forest. When he told what had happened, people laughed, saying that he was attacked by an animal, or even by bandits. Passing some time, he He began to question his actions as a human being, and especially as a hunter, because the figure of the creatures carrying the animals in the woods made him reflect a lot on his life. But man was never the same again. Even many years later, he lived in fear. Any whistle was a reason to panic and was even a reason to go to therapies and medications. He avoided getting close to any animal. A simple approach to a cat was reason to tremble. For his friends he had gone crazy for some reason. But for life it was a lesson he learned in the flesh. Because we are not owners of anything. We are not superior to any other form of life. We just have the privilege of share the planet with wonderful beings who have the same rights to life as we do. Did you like the video? Like, comment, subscribe to the channel.